What up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. It is Saturday morning, and we are back here with Falcons Daily. I am CG, Craig Green, your host, and we are back here for episode number 51. We're back for it. So thanks again for everybody checking us out today. Let's chop it up here and talk about some things that some of our Falcons family have on their mind. First of which, let's take a look at something that Anthony Gordy, 6491, brought up, was our defensive line. He doesn't think we're strong enough up front, but you guys tell me what you think about that. Let's take a look at the defensive line here in terms of the just the roster and the depth chart. When you look at the depth chart, there's still a lot of holes to fill. The team is still trying to figure things out. The only starter penciled in on the defensive line now is David Onyemata. And for the purpose of today's exercise, we're going to go with the 3-4 base that the Falcons have been showing and talking about here. That's what they have on their depth chart. We'll eliminate the nickel back for this and go with 3 down linemen and two outside linebackers for your front. So right now it's David Onyemata, the only starter in the clubhouse. Everybody else is going to be earning their spots. They have Zach Harrison, Contavious Street, Brandon Dorless are the first 3 backups. Ruka Rororo is the third stringer behind Street. And you know what? When you look at it, I don't think we are strong enough up front. You know, we could use a little bit more juice up there. I mean, we've got Simeon Barrow. We got Morgan Fox. These are guys that have been around. TQ Graham, another player who's played inside as well. Laquel London, veteran player who stepped in for us last season. But yeah, and I mean, when you look at those guys up front, does anybody really scare you? No. I mean, it's going to feel more like, a team effort to push the pocket and try to get some sacks here. But again, yeah, I mean, big glaring hole because Grady Jarrett left and went to Chicago. I mean, that's what we're seeing here, Anthony. But these guys are going to have to earn it. We're going to roll with who we've got right now. I mean, when you look at the free agent market for defensive tackles, right now are just interior defensive line in general. I mean, who's out there for you right now? You've got let's see. I mean, I'm looking at the list right now. In terms of guys that you may have heard of, Linval Joseph is available right now. Taven Bryan is a guy who the Falcons thought about drafting several years ago and ended up passing on him. He was actually mocked to the Falcons back in a couple different drafts. Also, former Falcon John Kaminsky, who was with us for the first 3 years of his career and ended up having some time with the Detroit Lions. He's on the free agent market, but really there's no one out there. I mean, also William Golston's another name that you would know, but there's no one out there that's going to save us at D tackle, man. We're going to have to just get out there, rise up, and do it for ourselves. That's who we've got. That's who we all. What they say: we all we got, we all we need. So we'll see about it. And speaking of, we're gonna keep it here in the trenches and talk about the offensive line. Jeff Holton, 1225. Hey Jeff, he brought up the offensive line and wondering if we were strong enough, deep enough up front. Based on what I've seen last season and the fact that everybody's back healthy again, I think we're pretty strong on the offensive line. I mean, we got all 5 of our starters coming back. With the exception, obviously, of Drew Dalman. Now we've got, I was pining for him all season long, Ryan Newsel. Now we got Ryan Newsel penciled in. He's the new starter at center, but he's not a new player to the Falcons. So I feel like we're pretty strong up front. Behind those guys up front, we got Elijah Wilkinson. Kyle Hinton is a guy who's been with us. Storm Norton made his way back, and then we just drafted Jack Nelson. So and Nelson's been getting some good looks and whatnot. So I think on the offensive line we're a little more stronger up there. I think a little more talent up front, a little more continuity. Again, we did lose one player each in the middle on both sides of the line again. But I think the loss of Grady Jarrett is going to weigh more than the loss of Drew Dalman. And that's what training camp's for right now. And that's what, the mini camp and the OTAs is for Mike Penix and for Ryan Newsel to get together, get that continuity, get that camaraderie, get that rapport, that nonverbal communication down, and get ready for hopefully some good things here in 2025 on the field when it comes time to play actual games that count. Something that we missed the other day, I want to go back and wish a happy belated birthday to Michael Vick. MV7 celebrated a birthday on June 26th. Today is the 28th, so I wanted to go back and say happy birthday, MV7. Used to have your jersey, of course, but not the reason I became a Falcon fan, but one of the outstanding personalities, like one of the true superstars that the Falcons had that got national attention for his play on the field and the things he can do. Everybody remembers the Mike Vick Experience commercials. Everybody remembers the Mike Vick Experience on Madden too, of course. I mean, did you ever have friends that told you, hey, we can play Madden, but you can't use the Falcons because they have Michael Vick? I had friends like that who would tell me, hey, anybody but the Falcons. Because they were too afraid that you were just going to snap the ball and then run up the sideline on them and score a touchdown with Vick and not even bother throwing the football. But aside from that, a question I pose to all of you, and maybe this is something we can talk about on the next episode. Who is the second greatest? We're going to assume, all right, for all intents and purposes, we're going to assume that Matt Ryan is the greatest quarterback in Falcons history. Okay? Do we all agree on that? And if we don't, please present a case for someone who's better, who's been better in Atlanta. So for this exercise and for all intents and purposes, we're going to give him Falcons GOAT QB, right? Here's my question. Out of Michael Vick and out of Steve Bartkowski, for those of you who have been fans and historians of the team, which one of those guys is the second greatest Falcons quarterback of all time? And what is your reasoning for that? You know, who do you think between those two would actually take the mantle of Falcons greatest second quarterback of all time? When you look at Steve Bartkowski, he was drafted by the Falcons. He played his whole career, with the exception of 1 year in LA. He played his whole career in Atlanta, 1 year in Los Angeles. Over 20,000 yards, 23,000 yards for the Falcons, 156 touchdowns. We'll just go his career numbers. Over 24,000 yards, 156 touchdowns. He threw 144 interceptions, so more touchdowns than picks. And he played 129 games. Fairly durable, had a couple of injury-riddled seasons, namely, again, really towards the end of his Falcons career. I mean, in 82, he played 9 games. In 85, he played 5 games, and that was kind of what led to him exiting Atlanta. But even early on, in 76, 77, you could see he was getting a little beat up there. But he was a strong quarterback for the Falcons for quite some time. Had 30 touchdown passes in multiple seasons. So again, what do you think, out of those two guys? And then you look at Mike Vick, of course, Mike Vick was awesome for Atlanta, but then he had a career resurgence after he left Atlanta. But when he was in Atlanta, again, he had, look at his record when he was there. He, pretty much, a winning quarterback for the Falcons. 8-6-1. Then he had 3-1. Of course, remember he was injured in 2003 when he broke his ankle. Went 11-4 in 2004. That was our NFC Championship year where we lost to the Eagles in Philadelphia. 2005. Again, didn't make the playoffs, but he did have a winning record, 8-5. He started 15 of the 16 games. And then in 2006, we missed the playoffs. I remember we had a game, I want to say it was a Saturday night, I believe, against the Cowboys. That was one game that was a telltale factor that season. Then, of course, remember he comes back to the league after missing 2 years to do the personal conduct policy, and then really just blows up. I mean, we see him going for 3,000 passing yards for the Eagles 2 straight years. Missed some time due to injury in 2012. But again, look at Mike Vick's numbers. I mean, 22,000 passing yards, 133 touchdowns, interceptions, only 88 interceptions. Very good QB touchdown to interception ratio. Quarterback rating of 80.4 for Steve Bartkowski. His quarterback rating was 75.4. So again, who do you guys think was the second greatest QB in Falcons history? You got to remember, Bartkowski played during the Falcons era where we stunk, for quite a while. I mean, his record would go up and down and up and down. 4-7 his first year as a starter. His best year, obviously, was 1980 when we went to the divisional playoff against and lost that game against the Dallas Cowboys. So here's a little fun fact for y'all. Again, we were up against the Cowboys in the fourth quarter. Lost that game at Atlanta Falcons County Stadium. Also, got to remember, who the Cowboys played next in the NFC Championship game. That was the San Francisco 49ers. And you got to remember, had the Falcons not blown that lead, what would not have happened is the catch would not, excuse me. Actually, no, it was the year after. I take that back. The catch was the year after, happened in 1982, not 1981. But again, that playoff game that the Falcons, had we won that playoff game, we would have went on to the NFC Championship game, and we would have had a chance to win our first, championship ring back then. But of course, we had to wait another 18 years before we got our shot in February football. So we'll see how long it takes us to get back there. But again, Steve Bartkowski, Mike Vick, who is the greatest second quarterback in Falcons history? When you look at it, you look at the numbers, it's really hard to tell. So I'm gonna be Switzerland on this one. I'm gonna let you guys decide. I want to see all of y'all rise up in the comments and continue to participate. Thank y'all for chiming in as you have done over the last couple of weeks. Again, let's look at our friends. Anthony Gordy, 6491. Dave Joseph, 1457. Player Stats, 3363. Jeff Holton, 1225. Tommy V, 1477. Where you been, friend? Bryce Hay, 9029. I want to see some of y'all come back into the comments. And I did see one funny thing in the last comment from what's his name here? Let's go back. It was somebody had an over and under on how many yawns I would have. I missed who it was. This episode, buddy, zero. Sometimes I do this late at night. Sometimes I do it very, very early in the morning, and just haven't woke up fully yet. But appreciate all y'all tuning in and having some fun with that. Let's continue to rise up in the comments and hit that subscribe button. Please do that. If you don't know anybody who has subscribed yet, make sure they do. We're well over 850 subscribers right now, so thank you. All right, y'all have a fantastic weekend. Again, please give me a follow at Craig G Sports, CRAIG, the letter G in the word sports. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, X, YouTube, Cash App, if you're friendly, all those different platforms. And again, follow Fan Arch Co. up here in the top corner, Fan Arch CO. And we'll be back with you real soon. Y'all have a great weekend. Sayonara and buenos noches.